Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 21st of August. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And we're filming today from number 12 Grosvenor Street, right in the heart of St Kilda East.
Balaclava, Philip.
Balaclava for the purists. Yes. Most importantly though, we're walking distance to some of the best cafes in Melbourne in Carlisle Street, Gary. Yes. But we can also walk to Brighton Road, where there's the little village in Brighton Road, Elwood. Or of course we could walk to the beach. Or we could walk to Ackland Street, we could walk to Fitzroy Street, we could walk to Ormond Road, Elwood. From this position, Gary, I think this is the centre of the universe.
Chapel Street as well, Phil. It is right in the middle of it all, and what a beautiful home we've got on display here, Philip.
And what a great day it is, Gary, to be reviewing a fabulous weekend. The weekend that was, where the industry clearance rate was 58%, Gary. But at Gary Peer and Associates, the industry clearance rate was smashed by our company with 8 out of 8 for 100%, Gary.
That's 8 out of 8, Phil, 100%. That bar graph should go up now. Tall, proud and erect, Philip. Can I say that?
You can probably not, but anyway, you've said it.
Well, it is. It's right up there. Full tower, Phil, the Rialto, 8 out of 8, a clean sweep. You wouldn't let me bring a broom in because you thought that was pretty daggy, but it is a clean sweep of auctions. Very proud of ourselves.
Well, not only are we proud of that, Gary, I think let's drill a little bit deeper, because obviously 100% success rate is incredible. Bears no resemblance to our VTE results. For sure. But drilling a little bit deeper, not only did we have 8 out of 8, but the best part about it was that there was competitive auctioning, competitive bidding, I beg your pardon, at all of these auctions.
We spoke about
real depth to the market. Real depth to
the market. The market is back. So for those that aren't sure about it, the week before we had 75%. I don't think we actually talked about that last week, but that was very strong. But what we did talk about last week is some of the auctions, and we actually had the cameras out on the weekend, Phil, checking out some of the auctions. The first one that we spoke about that we can review is 11 at 11 DOWNSHIRE Road, ELSTERNWICK, right next door to the apartment that my late aunt used to own there. And that one, which we talked a little bit about her driving ability, yes, and her son, in fact, from Cleveland, Ohio, who was watching GPTV, said that he wasn't sure about that because she'd also driven through a butcher shop. So we talked last week about a drive-through newsagent.
There's no question that your family and retail and cars should not be mixed together.
They shouldn't. We should stick to real estate. 1111 DOWNSHIRE Road sold on the weekend. Leor Samuel did a great job there. Put the hammer down on that one. Actually passed it in, but sold it immediately after auction for $435,000, which is a pretty good buy, I reckon. Still, good buy, probably a good sell, probably about the right price. Another auction that we talked a little bit about, Phil, that you had the pleasure of conducting, that I did see you in action, and you did okay there, Phil. You did all right.
Thanks very much. I'd love to talk about that one, Gary, because we had a really good marketing campaign there where we thought we would have interest between $800,000 and $900,000. The vendor's dream price on the day of the auction was $900,000.
That was his reserve and happy price?
Very happy, and he probably would have sold for less.
I think so.
The first bid at the auction was $900,000. So straight out of the blocks for that auction. Now, I've got to tell you a funny story, Gary, because we ended up selling it for $965,000. Where we knocked it down as sold. I walked out, the crowd loved it, it was a great auction. I walked outside,
a lot of bidders,
to be abused by a member of the public that how dare the auction start so high, and how dare we get such a great price. He was really quite abusive, and I thought to myself, you know, sometimes we just can't win. We get a great price for a vendor.
And was he a buyer or a bidder?
Fabulous bidding right from the start. The bid of $900,000 was not a vendor bid, but it was a bid from the public.
And it was a guy, it was actually a buyer's advocate, an expert.
And here we are copping flack for that. So,
can't win, mate,
so for those of you that are out there watching, thinking it's a hard life as a real estate agent, please feel sorry for us, because sometimes the general public just will not cut us a break.
No, maybe you should go into some other industry that you loved, like law or politics or used car sales.
That's right, or journalism.
Journalism, exactly. Maybe a more popular industry.
Let's get back to real estate, Gary. What else do we have on the
Great result, well done. I think
you.
we've got some footage of that auction. 127 Sycamore Street, well sold, Philip. The other one that we reviewed last week at GPTV, and that was in Cambrook Road. Leon Guzenfitter was running that sale, but Leor Samuel auctioned it, and I think he did a pretty good job, Phil.
He's a great auctioneer, Leor.
He is good, and that one, the reserve was $350, lots of action and buyers, and it sold for $397.5. That is apartment 17, I believe, at 212 Cambrook Road in the centre of CAULFIELD. So a busy weekend, lots of great results, lots of buyers around, lots of bidding. So for what seems at the surface for many to be a quiet winter, I can tell you what, it's packing plenty of punches out there on the market.
I wouldn't mind talking about an auction I did on Sunday, Gary, in BAMBRA Road, South Caulfield, a single fronted house on a small parcel of land. We had marketed that in the $570,000 to $630,000 price range. We had a reserve, a happy reserve, would have sold for less, but a happy reserve of $630,000. 3 bidders took that all the way to $705,000, I think was the final result. So once again, competitive bidding, 10% at least, in fact about 11 or 12% over the reserve price. So the theme from this weekend, Gary, was not just 100% success rate at Gary, Peer and Associates, but depth of bidding, and that's what we look for, Gary, is depth of bidding, and that defines whether a market is healthy or not. So I'm calling this a very healthy and a very balanced market.
Well, even perhaps a vendor's market based on what you saw on the weekend.
Bring on spring, I say.
In the most livable city in the world, as voted again just very recently. Philip, this very exciting report that talks about Melbourne on the world stage. Let's talk about some of the other auctions that are coming up. Review some properties, Phil. Talk a little bit about what's coming up this weekend. Firstly, 12 Grosvenor Street. This one comes up this weekend, Saturday at 12:30. Take us through this home.
This would have to be one of the schmickest houses, Gary, in East St Kilda.
Schmickest? Is that in the dictionary?
Schmickest it is, an architectural term. North facing at the rear, stunning renovation. From the front gate to the back fence, this house just absolutely sings, Gary.
Fair enough, I haven't heard it, but now I do. I think I can. And how about this weekend, Phil? 24 Seymour Road, ELSTERNWICK. What a great address that is.
Incredible. One of the best addresses in ELSTERNWICK. Sits right on the park. Architect designed by Ian Freeman. This is a house that you would travel far and wide to find something as gorgeous as this. And I'd recommend those people watching GPTV just click on the link, because this is a seriously good piece of real estate. It was featured on the front
page of the paper last week too, the local paper. Another one that we've got, that's at 12:30 Sunday, Phil, so make sure you have a nice early night on Saturday night, no misbehaving. On Sunday at 1:30 we have another feature home that we're going to talk about, number 12 HALSTEAD Street. What a fantastic family home this one is, Phil.
A really good house, one of the best streets of North Caulfield, walking distance to the tram in Hawthorne Road, the shops in Hawthorne Road, the tram in Balaclava Road, Caulfield Park, walking distance to all those facilities, a 2-storey architect designed family home with a north-facing back garden.
A property I just want to cover very quickly is one that isn't on this weekend, but the weekend after, coming up on the 1st of September, which is the first day of spring.
The first day of spring, and Gary, let's just talk very briefly about the fact that we've got 11 days of winter left.
That's great.
Before spring hits, and I've got to tell you, I'm over winter. I've had enough. I cannot wait for the first day of spring. Very excited. And as it's the first day of spring in 11 days' time, those thinking about selling in spring need to start
get their
talking
roller
to
skates
us
on.
urgently.
They need to get moving. That's it, because we don't. It's here and gone before you know it.
I know.
And we're planning those
Bring
spring
on
auctions
2013 in a minute.
Well, it's not too even early to list for then.
No,
what do you reckon?
No, and for those that are really organised, 2014 is a terrific year to be selling.
Nice long lead time into that. 1st of September, the first auction of the year, of the spring year, in 10:30 a.m. on the 1st of September, 4 at 40 Alexander Street, a very affordable 2-bedroom security apartment. This one's got a balcony, parking. It's a beauty in that sort of high 3s, low 4s, so a great investment. Or first home buyer perhaps, or something to downscale into. If you're living in something bigger, we can recommend this one as well. So a big week at Gary, Peer and Associates, Philip. We've sold all of our auctions. We've sold 8 out of 8. We've got 11 coming up this weekend. And so hopefully we'll sell 11 out of 11, something around the order of $10 million under the hammer this week. We had actually a number of other sales as well last week. So it's all happening.
Haven't got time to talk about those. Thank you very much again for watching GPTV. I'm Philip Kingston.
I'm Gary Peer. We'll see you next week.
Have a great week.
Bye for now.